Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of SYNLAB Podcast. We've been discussing really interesting topics on diabetes. And Dr. Sodipo and Dr. Eniola here have been breaking all the tables and letting us know all the things we didn't know prior to this time about diabetes and lifestyle management, prevention, and all of that. And before we delve into the topic for today and all the discussions we have for today, we're just going to do a quick one, myths or facts. Okay? So we've had a lot of people say certain things about diabetes, and then I'm going to ask you quickly, 2 seconds. Dr. Eniola, ants in urine, is it a sign or could it be a potential sign of diabetes?
Well, as funny as it sounds, yes, it looks like something cooked up, but really, like diabetes has to do with sugar. So, and ants are attracted to sugar. So, it could be a way of saying the person should go get tested for the DM.
So there's a possibility.
There's a possibility, yes.
Oh, that's interesting. And then, Dr. Sodipo, fat people and slim people, there's this perception that it's only fat people that all the problems of the world come to.
Well, that's a myth.
Yeah.
Yes, people that are on the big side tend to have more risk.
Okay.
But as I mentioned in previous episodes, somebody could actually lose a lot of weight, which could actually be a sign of diabetes. So, yes, slim people could also have diabetes. So,
fantastic.
Yes, there's also that risk.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Quick one. Dr. Eniola, no sugar, no diabetes. So if I don't take sugar at all, I've not tasted it, no diabetes.
Well,
myth or fact?
It's a myth because really, it's you could not be taking sugar and still be predisposed to having diabetes.
Hey, God.
Yeah. So there are other things that put you at risk aside taking just sugar.
But please don't go and start taking sugar for
yes, that's true. We are not actually encouraging you to consume.
Yes. So energy drinks and beer doesn't link to diabetes.
Yeah, they have a risk, especially because for beer and other types of alcohol, they actually contain a lot of sugar.
Please, can we increase the volume of the microphone
so
that it can get to the people?
And, now a lot of us take energy drinks and they're being marketed in so many ways.
How about the zero sugar one?
Even the zero sugar, it has less sugar.
So it doesn't mean zero, essentially.
It doesn't mean zero. And even now, the World Health Organization is saying some of the supplements that are alternatives also have their risk. And of course, energy drinks have a lot of caffeine. So, it's giving you that drive, but it's also causing a lot of problems in terms of the heart and co. So it's something that we really need to look out for.
Wow.
And because they are being marketed as, very nice drinks, you could just pick up a bottle like you're picking up a bottle of Coke.
Yeah.
And people just think, somebody even says, I don't take alcohol, but I can take 3 energy drinks. The risk is there. The person is putting themselves on the risk. Yeah.
Bummer. Fruits convert to sugar and can lead to diabetes.
Yeah, well, fruits actually, they are, how would I place it? The glycemic index that you have in fruits, you cannot compare to what you have in just the processed form.
Okay.
So actually, when you're taking your fruit whole, you're not like the glycemic index, or what you eventually come down with is actually, it helps you in the management of your diabetes,
doesn't translate to sugar.
Not translate, yes.
To... Oh, that's good to know. That's fantastic. And then back to all the conversations we have mapped out for today. Now we've discussed so much about diabetes, medication, and Dr. Sodipo has really, given such an expose on medication and insulin and all of that. And then we're coming back to the one that we feel like is low-hanging fruit for everybody, which is lifestyle, and that's your forte, lifestyle and wellness. Okay, what's the recommendation for wellness and lifestyle for someone who is diabetic and someone who is not, or someone who is trying to prevent themselves from becoming diabetic?
Okay, for somebody who is not diabetic, or for people who are actually diabetic, the lifestyle factors play a whole lot of role.
Okay.
Because for you who is not diabetic, you start with a lot of lifestyle factors. Entails a lot of things.
Yes.
It entails what you do on a regular basis. And when you talk about lifestyle, there are things we actually call the pillars of lifestyle medicine.
Okay.
And these pillars are actually the exercise, being physically active.
Okay.
I need to let you know that there's a difference between just being physically active and exercise. Because a lot of people think that, I'm actually I'm physically
because
active. I
when
walk
you're
around.
moving.
Yes, I walk to work and all that. But that's doesn't translate to you exercising. Because for exercise, it's actually something recurrent.
Really?
It's repeated. And it actually, you have a goal towards fitness. So a goal, you're not just saying, oh, I'm just doing this for just
So
for
when
the
you
purpose of
trek to
activity.
work, it cannot
It
be
may
said
not,
that...
because in terms of there's also the intensity for the exercise, because it's actually, there's a stepwise increase in the intensity, because if you're working at your pace, you may not actually be fulfilling the recommendations for what is required for exercise.
Wow.
So that's exercise on its own. You talk about the fact of talking about nutrition. A lot of us, a lot of things, a lot of factors have changed, and we really engage in a lot of unhealthy eating now. Consume a lot of processed food, foods high in with a lot of red meat. People don't take a whole lot. But now people are beginning to embrace taking of fruits now, because now maybe things are not more available. So a lot of people could just, I can buy one apple here, I can just get a cucumber here, I can slice and have that. Because maybe people are not getting aware that, these things are helpful. They help me to reduce the tendency of me coming out with things like that. But things you also don't look out for that could also be helpful. Sleep, as minute as sleep looks like, it has a way of modulating how the glucose control in the body is. Because if you're not sleeping well, or you're even oversleeping, it has a way of affecting your blood glucose control. So sleep plays a whole lot of role. Stress is also something we need to look out for.
Because some people can have a lot of ice cream and chocolate and all of that when they're
because when you're stressed, you're less likely to engage in healthy habits.
Yeah.
Like you're stressed, you come in, you're so tired. Anything that comes your way, if a bottle of Coke, you pick it up. A cup of ice cream, you pick it up. You're not likely to think about things that will do. I'm not going to take vegetables now. You understand? But when you're actually programmed, I know that I need to take something healthy. You might need to plan towards, I would avoid all of these things and look out for things that are not healthy. Then he mentioned the other time about energy drinks. Sometimes it could become addictive, and those are kind of substances you're like, caffeine, alcohol. There are things you also need to watch out for that are also could predispose you to having these conditions.
This is such a robust conversation. Dr. Sodipo, from a medication standpoint, what do you have to say about people who would rather opt for traditional, when they say, the doctor, maybe you have scared them with insulin, and I say, no, there's something they'll mix. 6 herbs. When you mix it together, take it early in the morning before your first urine, and late at night before you brush your teeth. All those kind of... What do you think about those?
Yeah, I had to take a deep breath, because I know, everybody says the doctors criticize alternative. I call them alternative medications, the agbos and things like that. And really, it's a conversation we need to have with everybody. I tell people that if you're going to try traditional medications, please don't try it if you're diabetic. You can try it maybe with something, I don't know, but with diabetic patients, as I mentioned, one of the biggest problems we're having now is chronic kidney disease. And just to quickly, I lost a patient recently, and what happened was he was diabetic. He was doing very well. He was doing very well. He had started to have kidney problems. He had seen his kidney doctors. He was doing well, taking all his medications. And then he traveled and, for a function. And when he got there, people said, we have this agbo, we have this, just take it. And he took it, he just took a couple of glasses. He didn't even take for too long. And suddenly he just noticed he was unwell, and he came back to the hospital. So I asked him, have you been doing anything? Of course, he felt I was going to criticize. So he said, no, doctor, I just, what happened? So I said, okay, let's do some tests. Unfortunately, the kidneys are shut down. Yeah, it was that bad. He had to go for dialysis. He had to go. Unfortunately, he's late now, and he was such a very nice person. So, a lot of the challenges, even with medications, when people are diabetic or have any chronic medical illness, you need to have conversations with your doctors.
Yeah.
People have taken simple drugs that we take. Even for the diabetic medications, everybody cannot take the same drug. Currently, we have about 12, 13 types of medications for diabetes, unlike in the past where you had 3, 4.
Yes.
So there are restrictions. Somebody could be overweight. They say, we're going to give you this drug, will help you lose weight. Somebody could be underweight and diabetic. We're going to give you this. The sugar level. Somebody could have a heart problem. There are some newer drugs that are coming out, wonderful on the heart. Some people, there are some drugs now, there's some injectable drugs that people that are really overweight, they're talking about it a lot in the US. They give it to them and makes them lose weight, controls the blood glucose. So it's not just a one cap.
So it's not like I now know I'm diabetic, and I extend my medication
yes, and I say, my relative is taking this. I don't want to mention some common drugs that people take.
Yeah.
They are cheap, so people just go for it and use
then
it.
Just delve.
It could bring down the sugar level, but sometimes it even crashes it.
Wow.
And so many other factors. So please, for the issue of, I think it's becoming a crisis.
Wow.
There are some hospitals, that we go to and we see lots of people. And unfortunately, we don't really have health insurance. Once somebody is told that the kidneys are shutting down, it causes a depressive episode, all those problems. And then the financial burden is a killer. So I think, please, let's stop, especially those root-based, that those very strong roots.
Herbs.
And they say, I won't shisha. Please, it doesn't work. It's overworking. Or I don't know what other language I'm going to use. So it causes a lot of problems. And then lastly, I'm not trying to go against anybody. Some people even mix some of the diabetic medications in these traditional medications just to make sure
that to be strong.
Exactly. Yes. And so please, let's just have conversations with our healthcare practitioners. Let's also practice self-care, because you're the owner of your health. Even if you use your normal medications, have conversations with your healthcare practitioner. I used this drug, I felt somehow. Doctor, what do you think? And yes, they could tell you that's even a side effect of the drug we prescribed for you, but let's do 1, 2, 3. But if you take a traditional medication, I don't know who you're going to complain to when the problems really set in that stage.
Dr. Eniola, this has been quite mind-blowing, I've just been thinking about a lot of things. Let's talk about a bit more on people with diabetes and nutrition, because sometimes I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this morning alone, I've just thought about it. I mean, it's easy to stop at a snack shop, pick up, doctor was talking about fruit bowl. I mean, you have to really plan that one, and also at the same time, you're trying to avoid buying just about any fruit from the roadside that is cut up already, because you're also afraid of food poisoning, okay? So can you walk us through some of the easy things you can lay hands on when it comes to diet and nutrition?
Okay, when it comes to diet and nutrition, I think it's also important that you look out for something you can afford, something available to you and culturally acceptable, because you cannot just because I cannot afford this, or maybe it has to be kale leaf. When I can get my ugu vegetables, you understand? So you think about what you have around. Your green vegetables, your ugu vegetable is good. Your fruits in season, your oranges, your apple, your cucumber. So sometimes now if you don't want the ones that are already cut out, you could just get a whole one for yourself, then dice them yourself, and you could serve them with your meals. You understand? So you can have your meal with an apple, your water, you can have it with your cucumber, your garden eggs. You understand? There are things. Then people also ignore things like nuts, your walnuts. You understand? I think
you said it in traffic.
It's really, really good. And you need to, a lot of times we engage in a lot of foods that are high calorie dense, but it should be the other way around. Nutrient dense, not so high in calories. You understand? And that's what you have in all those and the foods that are high fiber. Commonly you have your oats. You understand? Your brown rice. Brown rice is because it's not processed. You understand? So we're thinking about, talk about things that are not, because what it means is that when you're taking a lot of those processed meals, once it gets to your body, the body the glucose level, that was what I was talking about, the glycemic index. Once it gets into the bloodstream, it gets released and it shoots up your blood glucose. But when you're taking the unrefined forms, it takes a while before before the sugar level rises. So so another thing is intentionality is really key. You understand? Because these things, like I said, that when you're stressed out, anything comes your way, you pick it up. But if you have a plan, I want to live healthy, then you need to take decisive steps. Somebody who wants to exercise, I'm busy. What can I do? What days do I think I can begin to feel in that, I have a few minutes in this, on so and so days. Let me start with 10 minutes, maybe just a brisk walk. You understand? It's better than, although we have recommendations, 30, 45, but if start with something, you understand? You understand? Then you could build up on what you have.
So with that exercise as well, for people who are diabetic or people who are trying to avoid diabetes, could there be an over-exercising? Because you want to kill this thing and kill it.
Oh, yes. Well,
there are guidelines.
Yes, there are guidelines. Yes, what we say is for an adult, you talk about a moderate intensity physical activity. And when I'm talking about moderate intensity, something that you do that while you're doing it, you can talk, but you talk about something, you can talk, but you cannot sing.
Okay, that's how you measure the intensity.
Yes, I measure the intensity. That's just a way
so I can have conversations.
By the time I'm doing that and I'm still able to talk easily, that means it's still maybe low intensity, but I cannot sing. By the time you're engaged in that, you talk about you having about 30 to 45 minutes of that. In all, about 150 minutes a week.
150 minutes a week.
If you break that down for a whole week, you talk about having that for 5 days of the week. That would come down to 30 minutes
30
a
minutes.
day.
I mean, it's realistic.
So it looks realistic, but sometimes
with the busy
Yes.
you can
schedules.
share it 15 in the
people-
morning,
so you
15
need
at
to be
night.
very intentional.
Yeah.
What do I want to do? Because as simple as dancing looks like, it's a form of exercise. You move your body. You understand? Commonly things that you can do. You don't have to go register in the gym. Yes, you can start off from walking. Then it's really important. Security. Now I heard about a youth corps member.
Yeah,
who
that
was,
was,
yes,
yeah.
I was stabbed yesterday
Yeah.
while having a morning next. So it's important that while you're exercising, consider your environment. I hope it's safe. So it's really important. So,
Wow.
so that's
Then I wanted to say something on the issue of the food. Because one of the challenges we're having now is that things are becoming quite expensive.
Really
Yes.
expensive.
So people are worried. I mean, as Dr. Eniola has mentioned, we need to start small and then moderation.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may even be eating the healthy ones, but you eat a lot.
A lot. Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So
There's
I
Well,
always
there's
tell
not
people.
a lot of healthy things.
Yeah. So you need to now. One of the tips I learned actually is to try to eat slowly, because when you eat very fast, you may have eaten 3 bowls before you realize that you are full.
That's what we
But
call
if you were
mindfulness while eating.
So when you are taking it very slowly, at least at the point you just know. If you notice, if you are eating food, you have to go and do something. After some time, you even see, I'm no longer hungry. But if the food is there, you face it as they put
Squarely.
it squarely.
Yeah.
You have finished.
So that's why we discourage watching TVs or maybe being on your mobile while you're eating. So that you're actually chewing and you're enjoying your meal and you're less likely to take a larger quantity.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. And even though people buy food from the roadside, I mean, I feel like they can have bigger portions of maybe the vegetables.
Exactly.
And
Yes,
lesser portions.
what would even subscribe is for your. We talk about a meal, your meal, my meal plates. I it would have been better if you had a pictorial diagram. Yes. So when you see, just view your plate. Anytime you're eating, just look at your plate as a whole. Half of that plate should be at least vegetables, not just your green vegetable. It could be your carrots, your cucumbers, you understand. So
Half of
these. So a quarter of it should just be your carbohydrate, and maybe part of it your protein and your legumes. Yeah. Very importantly, legumes are also very good. Beans. Yes, people do really
still cheaper now.
Cheaper,
Yeah,
yes.
they're still
In fact, the
cheaper
brown rice,
Brown
no more
rice.
basmati. There's good
Brown,
reason to
yeah,
switch to
so
brown rice.
it's helpful.
Is it same as Ofada?
Yes, Ofada is brown rice. Yes.
Say no more. I mean, this has been really expository, and I don't know. I'm really grateful to have such a loaded panel, because it's always important to balance both medication, wellness, and lifestyle, which is, I mean, something that we are really passionate and interested in. And thank you so much for making this worth it. Thank you so much, Dr. Sodipo. Thank you so much, Dr. Eniola.
Thanks for the opportunity.
I mean, there are doctors in the teaching hospitals that we have, and it's so refreshing to know that you've all have not left us. And it's also refreshing to know that, I mean, they can always come to the clinic. That's the lifestyle and wellness clinic in LASUTH.
Yes.
And they can always come to the clinic as well.
Chronic medical disorder.
Chronic medical disorder in LASUTH to engage. We quickly have this that we signed. All our doctors say, I was here, back there in secondary school.
Okay.
When you are graduating, I don't know if it's
Oh yes.
it's still done. You go and write signing out. And then we used to have all those nicknames. What was your own nickname?
Showboy.
Showboy signing out. 1869 to 1862.
Yes.
Dr. Eniola, did you have any of those?
Well, I'm on the reserved side.
Okay. No, any baby.
Yes, any baby, any love. That was
Any
my,
love,
yes.
1962, signing out.
Wow,
It's so good to have you all here. And thank you so much again. And to our amazing viewers, we are interested in bringing you content that's refreshing, and that is great for your wellness and lifestyle. And we look forward to having you subscribe, like, comment, share. Let us also know what you want us to also bring to you as well. We are willing and always willing to listen to you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thank you.